Hey guys, it's Brendo ST, and today we're going to be installing my MBRP charge pipes. I won these in a raffle recently, so I didn't really have to spend any money on them, except for the few tickets of the raffle that I bought. By themselves, these aren't really much of an upgrade. You're not going to experience any gains or anything like that, most likely, because I'm still running the stock intercooler and stock turbo. But if you were to upgrade the intercooler and turbo, you may be looking at a little bit of a better flow. Steps are pretty straightforward. It doesn't look like it's too hard of a job, although I haven't seen any videos online of doing it. But to start off, you want to get your car up in the air, because we're going to be working underneath it. And if you guys watched my motor mount video, the same process is going to be happening. We're going to drop that belly pan and also the front pan under here. This is the first one, just so you can access it a little bit better. I don't think I need to remove the front grille or anything like that. MBRP does supply a nice bit of instructions, but video always helps, so we're gonna try our best to interpret the directions and do this. Now, I'm not a mechanic. I do this really I have simple tools. I don't have a big shop, so this is just your average Joe doing it. But according to the instructions, the first part is to remove the hose clamp attached to the throttle body, which would be that guy right there, I'm assuming. Yippers. Alright, so we're going to start getting some tools here out to make sure what we need. I'm going to put this aside so we don't lose it. Put something on top of it. Alright, so we'll go into my tools. We're going to find a 7. Is this side metric? Oh, look at that. 7. And a small ratchet. No, I did not. Oh yeah, she's definitely a 7. Yeah, I should have my little mount here so I can do this. My car's fucking filthy right now, that's for sure. So we're going to get rid of this first by unbolting it. I didn't uninstall my battery, so I'm hoping I don't, hit anything that'll cause a spark. So all we're doing right now is we're loosening the throttle body clamp. Alright, guess we'll start with the next step, and that is grabbing, what did I do with it? My little Torx bit. It was a T30. We're going to remove the underbelly pan. That's the best thing we can do for now. So, let's crawl under the car, show you what bolts you need to remove. Oi. Oh, looking at the back of my hiney. Alright. So, if you didn't watch my other videos, this little fin thingy, I don't know what the hell it is. It's got 3 bolts on it, look like that. One down here, one over there. You gotta remove those first. And once you remove those, it'll show the rest of the bolts for the thing the camera is currently focused on, which is the entire underbelly pan. When it comes to the front half, it's gonna get a little bit more interesting because it has those clips. They're these things. What the hell do you call those? Plastic trim clips. Because we gotta remove those. And those are really easy to remove too. All you gotta do is take a flathead screwdriver, and there's gonna be a side that's kinda open like that. And you pop the center out, and then once the center's out, the whole thing will come out. But for now, I'm gonna take this underbelly pan out, and we'll catch up in the next step. Alrighty, once you have your underbelly pan off, you can see here's your 1 charge pipe. I believe this is the hot side pipe coming off the back side of the turbo and going to the front side of the intercooler. So that's your hot side pipe. And you can see already, looking at the diameter of the pipe, it's much smaller than what we're going to be putting on here. It's interesting. So, like I said, it looks like you can't really get in there too well. So So we're going to remove this pan. And from what I can see, there's 2 Torx bits there. Another 2 on the other side. You have 3 on the back side of it. 1 over there. And then we're going to pull these push pins out all around the lower trim of the car. So 1 back there, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 in the back. So we'll do all of those and all the Torx bits. I'll remove this pan. We'll continue on the next step here, just to access the intercooler. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you really quick. If you've never seen how one of these pins comes out, sorry, I'm going to show you really quickly if I can get it to focus on it. Alright, so, focus, get it. You're going to take a flathead screwdriver, you're just going to pop the center right out, and that's it. Then the whole thing comes out. Make sure you don't lose them or break them. I'm going to continue removing these so I can get this front pan out. Alrighty guys, got the front pan off. You can see the bottom of your intercooler. All my HID ballast kind of fell in my head there, so they're just hanging there. The hot side pipe goes over here. And then you got your clamp there, which is still 7. I found my wrench, by the way, so what about that? I got it back. And then the cold side is also over here. It looks like clamps up top there, so not too bad to get to. Alright, so now we're going to begin removing stuff here. I guess we'll start with this cold side, because it's right there. And we're just going to unbolt her, like so. Loosen it up nice and well, so we can get rid of this. Alright, there we go. Jesus Christ. Now, let's get the top part. It needs to come off the throttle body. There she goes. Alright. Cold side pipe out. Alright. Cold side pipe is just a freaking hose. Not even a pipe. How the hell is this whole boost pressure? I mean, it's a sturdy hose. It literally is just like a radiator hose. Now, I'm going to set this aside because I think we're supposed to use a piece off of it. The one that attaches to the throttle body itself. Look at that tiny little throttle body. Hey there. Alright, and then we'll continue on with the next half. Instructions say you have to remove these random bolts attaching the hot side, which I found out is a 13mm. So I got into my garage and got the 13mm ratcheting wrench because it makes life so much easier. And we're gonna loosen that. I apologize what you're looking at. Like I said 100 times, I'm using a cell phone in one hand. Just doesn't make things fun, and because it has problems, it does stuff like that. Autofocus prep. One of these days I'll get them out in the camera, don't worry. I'll get that bolt out. I'll put that aside. I wondered what this thing is. I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's like a bad area of turbulence. So getting rid of that might increase flow quite a bit. Right. You got another bolt up here, which surprisingly looks smaller than a 13. Because it is smaller than a 13. Wonderful. Alright, I'll have to find one for that. In the meantime, where'd my other little thing go? Losing stuff already. Oh, it's at my arm. We're gonna get the bolt on the hot side of the intercooler. The worm gear clamp, sorry. We'll loosen her up. Nice and loose. Loosey-goosey. I don't know if you've seen, I'll show you again, but the clamps they give you in this kit, MBRP's kit, are freaking legit. Like giant T-clamps. Like you're never gonna lose a freaking hose off this shit. I'm concerned right here. I don't know where my starter is in this car. I'm assuming it's attached to the transmission somewhere. But I don't want to cross anything because I didn't unhook my battery. This one looks like it's a little bit harder to get to because you don't have a lot of room to work with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my extension off. I'm also going to put my phone down for this. So sorry guys. But you see that whirring gear clamp right there? I can touch it for you. This one. Yeah. So that's the one we're doing. So I'll gotta get that out, and then I'll pull this whole thing out, find out what size that bolt is, because that other hook there is the only thing holding this together. Once I get this other piece off, this whole thing should come out. So we'll get to that. Alrighty guys, I got that bolt out. It was a 10. Bolt out, and these suckers just fell right off. Well, not really fell right off. I managed to pull off the front and the back off the turbo first. And if you've never seen it, look at this tiny little turbo. Look at that inlet, man. That thing's tiny. Well, it's technically an outlet, but it's a small turbo. No wonder people upgrade these. You need some bigger holes to get some better airflow in, though. Alright, so next step, we're going to pull myself out of the underneath of the car here. Look at that comparison. So look at the size of the piping difference. So obviously you know this is going to end up being that one. But look at that difference though. Look at that. I mean, I understand it doesn't make more power or anything, but at least with a stock intercooler and stock turbo and all that, but you figure air is going to flow a lot better through this. So it might spool quicker, or I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. I honestly don't know. Everyone I've talked to online said they really do nothing. But I got them for a cheap price, so why not try it anyway? But look at that size difference. That's like, I think these are 2.5. That's got to be like 2 1/4, 2 inch. And then that thing, whatever the fuck that is. Alrighty guys, after partially putting them together to get an idea of what they're going to look like, I'm going to take them apart again and silicone everything and put everything together individually and make sure I don't tighten anything down so I can adjust to what I need. But this will be your cold side pipe, and this is the piece that you reuse. You take that off of the throttle body and you use the new clamps they give you with it. Then you got a coupler over there, and that goes to, I believe, the hot side of the intercooler. And then you got this elbow, which is a reducer elbow. This is going to attach to your turbo, and they use a smaller clamp on this one, a 5866. The other ones are like 70 something, 66 or 6674. Alright, so I'm going to take everything off, and I do recommend having some silicone spray with you because it's been kind of a pain to get these on to here. So I'm going to use the silicone spray to do it the second time here around, just to make sure I have everything nice and positioned correctly before I start tightening things down. So I'm going to start with the turbo. I'm going to put this guy on there, and then I'm going to put that silicone on the front of the intercooler along with this piece. Basically, I'm going to attach all the silicone first, and then we'll get to the pipes. But I'm going to put these on, make sure they're in place, and then I will start positioning the pipes. And of course I'll try to record as much as I can, but with one hand it's difficult, especially when you're working with this kind of stuff. So let's see what we get to. Alright guys, back into the car here. We're getting ready to put on our, oh, you can't see shit because my hand's in the way. Hold on. Gonna get ready to put on our turbo side pipe. Now this should slide right in. I siliconed it already. Now look at that. Nice and easy. And she's on 100%. I'm not going to tighten anything just yet because I know what has to be done first. But I'm going to position this clamp. Yeah, it looks like an easy spot to tighten. Let it roll around for a minute. But let's continue on. I just want to make sure everything's set there. We'll continue on putting these on. Alrighty guys, I'll show you where I'm struggling now. Is this little bastard. So I got the other side on, along with the clamp on and tightened, and I also got turbo side on. Clamp is not tightened, it's just sitting there. And I'm trying to get this side on. And this guy is a bitch. This clamp, any way I try to go from here, I can't get this clamp to go on. Lubrication, all that shit. It won't. There's just not enough room to work, and it just won't go on. Huh, that's weird. Alright, guys. I have been sitting here for almost a literal hour. Probably longer. Trying to get this one in. I ended up putting the bolt in without the spring. It's fucking impossible. I don't know how the hell they expect you to get that one on. The clamp is just too fucking small to get over. Like, it's still not even on it all the way. Still not even fucking completely on it. I'm sure that's gonna blow free. I can't move it anymore though. So I tightened it as much as I could. I don't know what to fucking say about that one. That's ridiculous. Just a tiny space. I don't even think I'd be able to get it from taking the bumper cover off. It's just, when you try to put the clamp onto the silicone hose, because of where the hose is sitting on that, the intercooler part, it won't go over it. It's too big. And I had to take the clamp apart to get it to expand enough. And even with it apart, it was a bitch. And then to get it back on, I couldn't. It was impossible to get it back on with the spring. So it's springless right now. Oh, Jesus Christ! Not my day of fun. I'll tell you that. So I'm gonna continue now. I guess I'm gonna attempt to put the throttle body hose silicone on, and then we'll continue. Whew! All right. Cold side pipe is in. Not tightened yet. But I got the couplers, I got the clamps in place. This clamp was being an asshole. And it's the same hose that was being an asshole earlier, and my phone is a piece of shit. There we go. So this silicone hose is just right next to the AC compressor. It's the worst piece of shit, and I am just tired of it. So when you get this is the small hose, or the small pipe, which is the cold side. You're gonna get this little thing on to the stud, and it gave you a bolt in the package. You're gonna attach that bolt to there. You're gonna tighten all these clamps, and then you're gonna pray that nothing ever releases on this part, especially this fucking asshole right there. Sorry, YouTube, but I am angry. They made it look a lot easier than it was, I'll tell you that. Throttle body part wasn't too bad, that kind of went right on. So the next part's going to be the long pipe, which should not be hard because everything is easily accessible. There's enough room to get your hands around the entire thing, all the clamps. So we'll tighten this down, make sure it's in completely, and then we'll go to the hot side pipe, and then we'll put my car back together because we should be done from there. Alrighty guys, this charge pipe thing has been one hassle after another. I do not recommend doing this yourself. I have a friend. I do recommend a lift because laying on my back is just tiring. It's been like 3 hours. I expected to be done within like 20 minutes, and it was going well, taking out the original assembly, but nothing really fit well in here at first. This coupler going from the turbo to the hot side pipe, I had to cut some of the coupler on the turbo side up there because it was too long and it was kinking like dramatic, like it was just completely closed. It would kink so much, so it was way too long from the place. Getting all these brackets on, not brackets, but these things, like the aluminum bent really easily. Like that one, you can tell is bent. I still gotta put a bolt in there. I finally got this side in. I'm still gonna tighten everything down, but everything is attached to where it needs to be. I'm at the stage where everything is set. All I need to do all I need to do is tighten and reassemble the car. So I'm going to start in an order, tightening all my little worm gears, which are still a pain in the ass because they take forever to tighten. Probably these T-clamps, regular worm gear clamps, probably would have done fine, but you know, they gotta have upgraded hardware. So I'm gonna start doing that, tighten everything, get everything set here, and then we'll get ready to put the car back together, and this will be done. And like I said, it took 3 hours. I came out here at like 3 in the afternoon. It's now like 6:30, so 3.5 hours. And if it wasn't for just the random stupid stuff I've been running into and how long I had to struggle to get some of these couplers on, like on that fucking cold side pipe over there, this would have been, you know, cake. But it's probably because I'm doing half-assed. I didn't take the front clip of the car off. It probably would have helped if I did. I'm obviously laying on my back, so I'm not getting good angles at anything to get leverage on stuff. And, you know, so if you do end up going with charge pipes, one, don't do it unless you got an intercooler. It's useless. And then two, have a lift or have a way to get the car higher than I can instead of these ramps. It will make your life so much easier. And if you do end up doing this, or if you did do this and you have any tips for other people watching the video that they see me struggling, maybe you did something different that made it easier, let us know in the comments. So I'm going to tighten these down. I'm going to put this back together, and this will be my last little clip here. If anything, I'll have the car running afterwards, and hopefully nothing blows off. So have a great one, guys.